got me a war in my mind. Gotta let go of Wayne, think he was holding me. Choose the right, but it will pick up in front of me. All the while, I wave my arm, will feel it and smile. Still wanna try, still believe in good days are always inside.
And here I am with another video. So today I'm going to do my hair, and while I do my hair, I'm going to speak on 6 different things that I've learned while living in this said hotel. However, before I get into that, I do want to say thank you for all the support. I did not think that I'll have over 30 subscribers within the first 48 hours, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to do my hair so I can go to Starbucks and study. I am studying for my teacher certification. I took the test before. Well, that's a long story within itself. I didn't actually take the actual test, but I took like something similar to it and pretty close to passing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my hair. I haven't done my hair since I've done it. Since I put the sewing in, I haven't done my hair. But I'm going to see if I can crimp it today, and if not, I'm going to Starbucks just like this. But yeah, so while I do my hair, I'm going to talk about 6 different things that I've learned while living here at this hotel. Maybe I should change and put some clothes on. Yeah, I'm going to do that first. So what I'm going to do to my hair first, I think I'm going to hot comb it. I don't think I should hot comb it. I guess the roots, I'll hot comb this top part. And then after I hot comb it, I would probably, maybe I should just straighten it and then try to crimp it. But if the crimps don't come out right, I'm telling you, this thing is going right back into the ponytail. I've been wearing it in that ponytail since after the first night I did it. First night I did it, went to a club. After that, it's been in the back of a ponytail this whole time. Let me not say club. It was more of a lounge. I don't do clubs. I'm not a club girly. But I will go sit at a lounge. Dance a little bit. As long as I got some lemon drops in my system. As long as I got some lemon drops in my system, I'm pretty good. Now I'm going to try to crimp my hair, but that's going to be a process. So while I'm crimping, I'm going to go ahead and get into the 6 things I've learned while living in a hotel. If y'all see me looking down, it's because I have everything written out on my phone. Key points and stuff that I don't want to miss. The first thing that I've learned while living in a hotel is that having God in your life is essential. The day I moved in here, I had booked the room. Matter of fact, not the day of. I had booked the room 2 weeks in advance. I was living in an apartment with my brother. And truth be told, I wanted my own space. Living with him just wasn't... I don't think I could live with anybody too much anymore. I've been living with people my entire life. And I got tired of living with my brother. So after a while, I decided that I'd rather live in a hotel. At least in that way, I'll have my own space. And I think 2 weeks before I decided to move out, I booked the room online because they said they had rooms available. I booked it online and got a decent price. Oh, this is pretty decent. I can do this. So after those 2 weeks of me booking the room and preparing myself to leave, I actually didn't pack up my place until the day before I was moving out. Got here, I'm thinking that my room be ready because, I booked it online and they said it was, I booked it online, and then on top of that, I definitely paid a deposit. So I'm thinking that my room would be ready. That wasn't the case. I got here, they tell me there are no rooms available. I'm already thinking the absolute worst. Like, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have did this. Maybe I should have just waited. Maybe this wasn't in the plans. Sorry, I'm trying to focus. I don't want to burn myself. But I'm also really worried that this is not going to come out right. Something is not right. It's very hot though. Though they're telling me all these other locations. Sorry, continuing. They told me that they don't have the same prices. She told me that every location has a different price. So I'm looking at all these other locations, and their prices are a lot higher than this one. Oh no, we already. Oh my god, this isn't gonna work, and that's okay. Like I said in the first video, one thing I'm going to do is figure it out. It's not. Maybe I should try to keep going. Maybe that's just the first piece. Oh, it's so ugly. Okay, let's see. That's just the first piece. Let's see. Let me see if I should keep going. Maybe we'll get somewhere in the next few pieces. I don't think so. This is also my real hair, so it's probably why. I don't know. Anyway, all these other locations had higher prices. So I asked them, like, is there any other place that you know of that has the similar prices that you guys have? She was like, no, every location has a different price, which she had already explained to me. So I guess she really had no say so or knowing anything of that nature about any other place. At this point, I'm stuck because truth be told, I did not want to go back and stay with my brother. That's one thing. Secondly, I did not want to have to call my parents at the time and ask them to move back home. Not because they wouldn't let me or anything. It was pride. It was a pride thing. I didn't want to. And on top of that, it wasn't. Truth be told, the timing was I didn't think I could call my parents. If I'm being honest, the timing it just wasn't there. I just didn't think I could. So after a while of me standing outside with my best friend trying to figure out like alternatives, the lady comes outside and she's like, hey, I just found a room. Apparently the girl that was in this room, she didn't check out with us, so we thought she was still here. That was God. So she tells me that there's a room available and the price is actually cheaper than the deposit that I paid online. God again. Then she says that she can refund me my deposit. God again. I'm just trying to point out the fact that God has shown up and shown out several different times while I was here. That's what I'm saying. One thing I've learned while being here is keeping God first is very essential. There were even days. So after that, I started to really like contemplate like how I'm gonna make it here. Because backstory, let me further back, before moving out the apartment, I got fired from a job. Ended up taking another job, less pay. That's where we are now, hotel living. When I got here and realized that like, dang, my checks that I get will be completely for this room and this room only. I had forgot that when I was at the apartment, I applied for food stamps. Still have them. That's how I'm eating. God. That was God before I even knew that I would be living in a hotel and all of my checks would be going to the rent here. That was God then and now. There were times where I didn't know how I was going to put gas in my car. Luckily at this point, the timing was right for me to talk to my parents. My parents were able to give me gas money when they could. My granny was able to give me gas money when she could. One of my closest friends was able to give me gas money when he could. Even sometimes I didn't know how I'm going to pay the hotel rent. Still got it done. Still got it done. And it wasn't me. It had to be God, because if I'm moving off my own strength, I wouldn't have made it this far. So it's not luck. It's God. I don't think I'm going to like this. And I'm still going. That's the crazy part. I don't think I'm going to like it, but I'm still going. I don't like this. I thought it would be cuter than this. That I waste my money. I think I wasted my money, because what the hell is this? I guess I'm straightening my hair. But see, straightening my hair is also a waste of time, because every time I straighten it, I just... Whatever happened in that bathroom sucks. Because, oh well. It was supposed to be me telling you guys 6 things I've learned about living in a hotel while I do my hair. But because it didn't work out how I thought it would, we're just gonna sit here and do it this way. So the first thing I learned is that keeping God first is essential. The second thing I've learned was that nobody's coming to save me. Though I knew that already, it was like this time it was all on me. Don't get me wrong, I've had help, but I still had to figure out how to do certain things without help, because there were a lot of times where I wasn't trying to bother anybody about asking for help, if that makes sense. Along with nobody's come to save me, I had the option to move back in with my parents or my grandmother. I didn't want to. Not because I'm proud. I just wanted to prove to myself that I can stand on my own 2 feet. Like, I don't get me wrong. I understand that everybody in this world needs some kind of help, some kind of way. But for me, I just more so wanted my people to understand that, like, not that I don't need them or anything of that nature. I want them to see that if anything were to happen to them, Brittney can take care of herself. That's pretty much why I didn't make that option. But with me trying to make that point or trying to prove that, or with me trying to, like, live like that, I had to realize that nobody was going to save me, and I had to just figure things out. And that's really a part of life. And I just had to realize that nobody was going to come in and change life for me. I just had to be the one to decide that this hotel room wasn't going to be the end of my story, but the same place where I decided to rewrite it. So the third thing that I've learned was that having a routine kept me level-headed, along with having God first in my life, of course. But, like, having a routine kept me level-headed. I was actually told to have a routine because at first it was just working home. That was my routine, working home. But I didn't really have a routine as to what happens once I get home, which is here. I didn't have a routine once I get home. I think once I got here, I was so stuck on the fact that I was here and not where I wanted to be. Because at the same time, none of this was in my plan. I graduated December 2023, and it is now July of 2025, and my life is nowhere near where I thought it would be. But before, like I said, before routine days, it was just me working home, and I didn't have a routine for home until I started working 2 jobs. I now have 2 jobs until I started door dashing. No, even before even after DoorDash, there really wasn't a home routine. Like, there was no routine for me after work. Like, my routine was literally work and home. And those days where I was supposed to be door dashing, it was a bunch of I don't feel like it. And that is dangerous. That is dangerous when you have bills. And I may not have, like, bills like apartment. I got rent. Okay, I got rent. That's enough. And saying you don't feel like making money when you have rent is one of the wildest yet scariest things to do, because you will be out of rent, but you also got a place to stay. However, I made it work. However, I did end up working 2 jobs, and now I only have 1 off day, which is today, which is Sunday. So I only have 1 off day. Truthfully, I'm not domestic. I don't like to cook. I don't like to clean. I also don't like to grocery shop. However, I do it because I'm an adult and I have to. And listen, for that reason alone, God knows I don't need children no time soon. Over time, I started creating some kind of structure, especially with this whole having 2 jobs and only having 1 off day kind of thing. I think those days where I work at the school, I get off at the school, and then I will go to the library, go study. Truth be told, after delivering, don't expect much out of me because I'm working in the sun all day. Might be a chance of getting chased by a dog. And you might just have that one customer who's having a bad day. On the days off, like today, I usually spend that time, like, cleaning up, going to go wash, or sometimes I might not even wash on my day off. Sometimes I'll probably go after I get off work from school or something. It started getting a little easier to keep my mind off the fact that I'm living here rather than getting to where I want to be. The third thing I have learned was that I don't need much. I pretty much have everything I need. I have food, water, and shelter, which is pretty much everything biblically you need. It comes with furniture and AC, and it even has a TV, closet, stove, sink, microwave. It has pretty much everything. It's kind of like a small studio apartment. Even with the TV, I didn't even use their TV. I kind of brought my TV from the apartment because I have a Roku and all of my stuff is on it. So I used my Roku rather than their TV. But before moving here at my parents' house, I always got my nails done and my hair done. And since I've been here, I haven't been able to do it. Usually that would bother me. Truth be told, it bothered me a lot. It bothered me a lot at the beginning. Not at the beginning of the hotel, at the beginning of moving out of my parents' house. That bothered me because I was like, dang, I cannot go get my nails done because I have to go pay rent. It was very annoying. However, now I'm kind of like, I'm realizing like, dang, I really don't need to get my nails done. Now it's easy for me to choose what's necessary over me going to get my nails, hair, and lashes done kind of thing, So I'm realizing I'm a lot more simple than I thought. However, I will be getting back out there with my hair and my nails and everything else because, I miss being a baddie. I don't think baddie is the word. I don't come off as like a baddie. To be honest, I don't come off as a baddie, but I do like to get cute. But I don't want to say I miss being cute because I'm still cute. Still cute. I just don't like the lack of accessories that help enhance my cuteness. There we go. That's number 3, I believe. You see? No, that's 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that was 4. 4 is I don't need much. Number 5 is that I had to become my own safe space. Now, with this one, it was more so I can't depend on anyone other than God to help me feel secure. I had to find security within myself, especially when it came to venting with people. I always heard, just move back in with your parents. It's not that deep. I've been worse off. Don't get me wrong. I understand completely all of that and understand where they stem from. But at the same time, it did kind of make me feel some kind of way because I'm just coming to vent, but I won't talk about it with you anymore. I won't mention it at all. Like I said, you can't really find security in nobody else except yourself and God. A lot of times I didn't feel like I got comfort. I feel like I got judgment. To be honest, with me putting this on YouTube and the internet, I'm probably still getting judgment, but don't judge me, go judge your mama. And that's just how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. That's how my flesh feels about it. Same time, I feel like, so what? Trust God that this won't be my situation forever, and I know that. I'm realizing that I actually won't be here forever, and that's where my security and my safe space comes from, knowing that I won't be here forever. And last but not least, I'm stronger than I thought I was. Because truth be told, if God himself sat down next to me and told me that I would be living in a hotel and I would have to go through the stuff that I went through while living here and go through the stuff that I chose to go through while living here, I would look him dead in his face and say, nah, Pops, can't do me like that. And if he added that this would be the place where I pop out with a YouTube channel that I've been contemplating for 7 to 8 years, I'd probably slip up and curse because it's a habit at this point. But he's working on it with me. But I probably would have slipped up and said, what the why then? But hey, who am I? I'm nobody. Anyway, but yeah, these past 6 months haven't turned out the way I wanted it to, but they've always turned out better, which lets me know that's God, right? Can't be nobody else. There were also moments where I felt like I would have to move in with my parents or my grandmother, but I did everything I could to prevent that from happening. So the fact that I kept figuring it out and made asking for help my absolutely last resort, and I do mean last resort, that it gives me credit that I'm stronger than even what I believe that I was, no matter what anybody else may think. Those are the 6 things I've learned while living at this hotel. And just so we clear, I will say them all again. Keeping God first is essential. Nobody's coming to save me. Routine kept me level-headed. I don't need much. I have to become my own safe space, and I'm stronger than I knew. And those are all my notes in my phone. But now it's time for me to get up and go study, because truth be told, I have to pass this exam this one last time, because if I don't, I'm not going to be where I want to be next year. Dang it, I got to stop saying that. I really do. I think there's one I'm not where I want to be right now. I keep making all these plans a year in advance just for God to be like, you thought, you know that saying where they're like, you make plans but God laughs? I think God hears my plans a lot of the time and just start cackling. I think he starts cackling. I think he be up there crying, laughing. I just be like, bro, come on. He's probably laughing now.